Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, during a pandemic, all of us think about food. I mean, what else is there to do? There's only so much Netflix you can watch, and when you're watching, you got to eat something. And let's face it, you kind of get bored cooking for yourself. So why not bring in an expert chef to cater your next quarantine? To join us to talk about that right now, Chef Mark McDaniel. He is with Catering by Chef Mark. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for having me. Really a pleasure. It's definitely interesting times. And in my 52 young years on the face of this planet, I've never seen anything like this. But yeah, we have definitely been blessed and very busy with a lot of folks that are just that. They're tired of cooking or burning the roast 4 times, so they bring me in. So
I love it. I love it. Well, I was on your Facebook and your Instagram and so impressed with all the work you're doing with healthcare workers right now. Talk about that. Are you doing a lot of food runs to healthcare organizations?
Yeah, we just, as a matter of fact, we just served another one today. We're serving 2 more tomorrow. So one of the things as a small business owner, rather than get bogged down in, hey, what will the government do for me? What will they won't do for me? I'm waiting on a stimulus check. I've got, albeit not a gigantic staff, but some staff that I'm trying to keep employed. And COVID is kind of the vehicle. It's okay. How am I going to reinvent myself? I've gone through the recession in 2008. We went through 9/11 previous to that. So even though this is not unlike anything that any of us have ever seen, we really wanted to look for a way that we could pay it forward to the real heroes that are out there. I have several associates in various hospitals that work in different in different aspects of healthcare, everything from a hospital to a nurse right on the front line to administrator to folks in assisted living care, even daycare. So we wanted to find a way to do that and still keep staff employed. So we took our hot lunch price. We got incredibly aggressive on the margin. We reduced that by 30%. We're not taking a loss on it. We're not making a significant amount of money on it, but it's also keeping us busy. So, and that's been a huge, huge blessing all the way around.
Yeah, and I'm feeding those people on the front lines. I mean, that's so important. My heart goes out to all of the people who are there while I'm here in the comfort of my home. So, yeah, thank you for doing that. Let's talk about happier times and times when there's not a pandemic. I'm so impressed with the pictures on your Facebook page because the food is just mouth-watering. You do all kinds of events, don't you?
We do truly. I haven't learned how to invent scratch and sniff on the computer yet, but I have a feeling if that was the case, I'm probably stuck on an island, probably my own private island once I invent that. But we do everything from really everything from a wedding to a cocktail reception, be that for the holidays, be that for your backyard barbecue, whatever that looks like. And then we do everything imaginable on the corporate side, from a groundbreaking, ribbon cutting. This is really dating me, but when DART opened the White Rock rail station ages ago, we actually were the selected caterer that did the groundbreaking on that. So we do everything from a huge ribbon cutting to that to something as simple as lunch for 15 people for a sales presentation.
That's great. Well, I'm always fascinated how people get into the business. Did you always want to be a chef?
I always wanted to be in service to people. I still don't get excited to this day about peeling a 50-pound bag of onions, and I'm very blessed because I've got some staff that can usually take that off my hands, and so that's fine. But I always wanted to be in service to others. And it's funny, we kind of started your show by talking about frontline workers, because at one point I had even thought about going and becoming an EMT. So the service aspect has always been really close to my heart. I started by serving tables, got to rub some incredible culinary elbows along the way with some folks here in Dallas. I'm a product of Lake Highlands. Yes, we do still serve the Plano area. I don't have that much of a rivalry now. But with respect, that's how I got exposed to it. And if you did real well on the floor at some of the restaurants that I served tables at, you got put on the catering team. I loved going and doing a catering because if you've ever served tables, you have everything that walks in. You have people that are in a great mood, in a grumpy mood. I've served people that have literally gotten a divorce over food that I've served them, and they're signing divorce papers. So everything imaginable. You don't have a lot of that at a party, though. So, if you're in a grumpy mood, you just stay home. So everybody was, that's really how I got exposed on the catering side. And as I said, I've got to really tap into some talented minds along the way about how to put food together. I don't have a culinary degree. I never have claimed to have a culinary degree. But I'd put our service up to anybody else in the area.
Well, it seems like being a chef has never been more cool. When I was coming up, it seems like there was only one cooking show on TV, and it was in black and white.
Yeah.
Now every time you turn on the TV set, there's a cooking show. Are you experiencing the same thing, that just being in the cooking world, people know how difficult it is to get it right, and there's a respect that there might not have been, say, a generation ago?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And from a couple aspects, I think definitely what the internet and what streaming has done now is you could be quarantined and do nothing but watch one genre of cuisine if you wanted to go that route. The other thing that I think it's really done is it's really educated the consumer along the way. We've heard more and more and more about organic and locally sourced and less chemicals in food. And I only see things driving more in that direction. Even back before I stopped serving tables, which is hard to believe, but that I completely stopped over 20 years ago. I could see the consumer becoming more educated just in regards to wine. And you couldn't just sell somebody $100 bottle of wine because that was a good price. You had to be able to back up and justify your reasoning for why you really like that wine. So the consumer knowledge has really come on more. And I'm the first person to say, when I'm talking to somebody, if they pitch me a question and I don't know the answer, I come BS free. If I don't know the answer, I will tell you, hey, let's go find out. But so yeah, it's come a long way for sure.
Okay, one final question. If God whispers in your ear and says, "I'm taking you home in an hour," but you got one last meal on the planet, what do you make for yourself?
I mean, where I really thought you were going to go is what restaurant I was going to eat at, because I just talked to my girlfriend last night about that, and the restaurant's located in the 7th district of Paris, and it's the best meal I've ever had.
Really? Well, hey, let's go there. I mean, if you do have one last meal on the planet, why cook?
It's Le Truffet. It's Le Truffet, which means the truffle, and when I went previous, ironically or not, it was about 20 years ago. It was the same year. It was the spring after 9/11, as a matter of fact. And I'll never forget, because the innkeeper where I stayed at was like, yeah, I said, I want something that's nice and local. Go down here 2 blocks, make a left, it was like no big deal. It was like the little local place that you should go to. Went in, and Jeff, I still remember the name of the maitre d'. It's Arnold. I went there 2 times in 3 nights, and I've only been to Paris once. Kind of along the same lines, I love Northern Italian cuisine, which it wasn't that. It was very classically prepared French cuisine. But hey, my last meal, I love Northern Italian food because the culinary perimeters or rules that come with that are incredibly wide. You could have fish, you could have pasta, you could have risotto, you could have ossobuco. It's very colorful, and you commented on my pictures, and thank you. That's something we really try to bring to light. Also, we believe that people eat with their eyes, so before they ever put it in their mouth. But that's where I would go for sure.
That's beautiful. Well, you've been a great guest. We're going to put up your Facebook page. Give everybody, how do they find you on Facebook?
Yeah, so thank you, Jeff. It's on Facebook. It's at Catering by Chef Mark is the Facebook page. They can reach me directly. We still have these things called phones where you can call or text, which is 972-984-0971. But we'd love to help you out in any case. And I have a dinner coming for you still. So
there you go.
You need to hit me up on that when you're ready. I've got dinner coming from the last time that I saw you. So
wow, you got it, man. Thank you so much.
You guys stay safe. Thank you.
All right, that's it for now. We'll see you next time.
All right, bye.